Perperikon, a name that sounds like the echoes of ancient civilizations, mystical rituals, and stories lost in the course of time. Located in the heart of the Eastern Rhodopes, this unique archaeological complex has existed for over 8,000 years and is a testament to thousands of years of Balkan history. From the Bronze Age to early Christianity, Perperikon was a cultural and religious center, bringing together people from different cultures, beliefs, and civilizations. Imagine a massive megalithic city carved into the rocks that came alive to the sounds of prayers, rituals, and trade. A place where people not only lived, but sought connection with the gods, with nature, and with themselves. Here, on this sacred peak, according to legend, was one of the most important sanctuaries of the Thracians, dedicated to the god Dionysus. It is a place where myth and reality intertwine to tell the story of human civilization. Archaeological excavations, which began in the 20th century, have revealed an elaborate system of temples, tombs, water channels, and palaces. But what makes this ancient complex so unique? What secrets lie beneath its rocks? One of the most famous legends associated with Perperikon is that of the temple of Dionysus, the god of wine, ecstasy, and mystical rituals. Historical sources, such as Herodotus and other ancient authors, describe the site as a sacred center comparable in importance to that of the Oracle of Delphi. It is believed that on a special altar, the priests of Dionysus performed rituals using wine and fire to read the will of the gods. Wine was poured over a sacred flame, and the height of the fire that erupted from the liquid was interpreted by the priests. This was the place where people turned to the gods for guidance. From commoners to kings and warlords flocked there. Two of the most famous prophecies associated with this altar are about the rise of Alexander the Great and the Roman Emperor Gaius Julius Caesar Octavian Augustus. Legend has it that the priests predicted to Alexander that he would conquer the world. The Roman historian Suetonius Tranquillus leaves us with a more detailed account that sheds light on the prophecy given to the father of Octavian Augustus, the future first Roman emperor. Augustus's father visited the temple in search of answers about his son's future. In addition to this account, Suetonius leaves us with a detailed description of the sanctuary. It was located in a large oval hall without a roof, an architectural decision dictated by the special ritual that was performed there. The ritual required an open sky so that the fire and the smoke that followed it could rise undisturbed. It was here, at the altar of Dionysus, that Gaius Octavius sought advice from the priests. Suetonius documents, when Octavius, the father of Augustus, was leading his army somewhere in the remote parts of the sacred mountain of Dionysus, he consulted the oracle of the god for his son. It was confirmed to him by the priests that his son would become lord of the whole world, for after the wine was poured out on the altar, the smoke rose up over the top of the sanctuary all the way to heaven, a sign like that which Alexander the Great himself received on that same altar. In fact, this ritual, which required the smoke to rise high into the sky, was considered the surest sign of the blessing of the gods. It also symbolized the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, a major theme in Thracian beliefs. Perperikon was not just a place of reverence, but a portal to understanding the universe, according to the beliefs of the ancients. Besides being a spiritual center, Perperikon was also a place shrouded in mystery. For centuries, legends have told of the dungeons that stretched beneath the ancient complex. Some of these tunnels are believed to lead to hidden treasures left by the ancient Thracians and other inhabitants of the sanctuary. One of the most widespread legends tells of the gold of the Thracian kings hidden deep under the rocks to protect it from invaders. The treasure is said to be guarded by an ancient curse that brings misfortune to anyone who dares to desecrate the shrine. Archaeologists who have worked at the site often tell of unexplained sensations and strange occurrences during the excavation. But the dungeons of Perperikon are not just a legend. Archaeological explorations have uncovered numerous niches and secret passages associated with different stages of the complex's history. Some of them were probably used as ritual chambers, others as shelters, and still others as food and weapon stores. Ancient artifacts, including pottery, jewelry, and tools, have been found in them, telling the story of the life of the people who inhabited this place. But besides the majestic altar and the underground secrets, the legends associated with Perperikon tell of a mysterious priest, a mystical figure who became the central character of the legends associated with the complex. The legends describe him as the guardian of ancient knowledge, a man who possessed the ability to converse with the gods and penetrate the secrets of the universe. The priest was not just a servant of the cult of Dionysus, he was a mediator between man and the divine, chosen to interpret the signs of the gods and to decipher the fates of those who dared to seek answers. Accounts of him describe him as a figure of extraordinary presence, tall, dressed in white robes adorned with golden symbols that shone in the light of the candles scattered around the altar. It is believed that the priest used not only physical rituals, but also his gift to foretell the future. In one legend, he had warned the local Thracian kings of an impending invasion, allowing them to prepare for battle. In another, he conducted a ritual to understand the will of the god Dionysus for the fate of his people. These stories lead us to believe that he was a man of unearthly abilities whose destiny was inextricably linked to Perperikon. Historical records cannot confirm the existence of such a priest, but the archaeological findings clearly show that if there was such a man, this would be his place. The large altars and numerous sacrificial stones suggest that incredibly elaborate rituals were indeed performed at this site, led by figures of immense authority and influence. Perperikon is often associated with one of the figures of ancient Thracian culture, Orpheus. There are many versions of Orpheus's origins, but the most common is that he was the son of the Thracian river king Aeger and the muse Calliope. The legendary musician, singer, and prophet left his mark not only on mythology, but also on the spiritual life of Thrace, where he is believed to have lived and worked. According to some researchers, the cult practices performed at Perperikon may have been inspired by Orphic philosophy. Orpheus was known as a priest and magician, able to enchant people, animals, and even gods with his music. He is believed to have brought the knowledge of the cult of Dionysus to Thracian lands and transformed this cult into a kind of philosophy known as Orphism. Orphic beliefs emphasized the search for eternal life and the essence of the soul, and Perperikon, with its sacred altars and rituals, was probably an important center for such practices. One of the most intriguing connections between Orpheus and Perperikon has to do with the symbolism of wine and music. Rituals performed in honor of Dionysus often involved music, dance, and wine, elements that play a central role in the myths of Orpheus. The priests of Perperikon may have used these practices to immerse the participants in the rituals in a trance-like state that brought them closer to the divine. There are also legends that suggest Orpheus may have visited Perperikon. Let's not forget, though, that many researchers insist that Orpheus is buried not anywhere but at the rock cult complex of Tatul, which is located about 20 kilometers from Perperikon. There are legends that link Perperikon with another enigmatic figure from Thracian mythology, King Rez, who is actually also thought to be a relative of Orpheus. Mentioned in Homer's epic, the Iliad, Rez is described as a powerful and wealthy Thracian ruler, an ally of the Trojans during the Trojan War. Perperikon, with its monumental structures and strategic location, is often suggested as the likely residence of this mythical king. Some researchers suggest that the city served as the capital or sacred center of his kingdom. Archaeological finds in the area, including coins, weapons, and ceremonial objects, attest to the fact that not a little wealth passed through this location. This somewhat gives us the opportunity to speculate on its possible connection with rulers of the rank of Rez. According to Homer, Rez arrived on the battlefield of Troy with magnificent horses and a golden chariot, symbols of his power and prestige. Legends say that these horses were as white as snow and as swift as a whirlwind. There are two versions of King Rez's involvement immediately after his arrival to help the Trojans. According to one, he participated in the battle for only one day, but he slaughtered so many enemies that they were forced to do something urgently. According to the other version, he could not enter the battle at all, but was killed the very night he arrived. Either way, a great tragedy took place in both cases. Rez and 12 of his closest men were killed in the night while they slept by Odysseus, king of Ithaca, and Diomedes, king of Argos, and their horses were kidnapped. This incredible feat of Odysseus and Diomedes is only accounted for by the much wine that the Thracians swallowed before they fell asleep. But this wine was hardly without opiate or poison in it, of which history and the poets are woefully silent. Who committed the treason also remains an open question. Today, Perperikon is a dynamic archaeological site that continues to reveal new secrets. Since the early 20th century, the site has attracted the attention of researchers, but systematic excavations only began in the late 20th century under the direction of Professor Nikolai Ovcharov. His team devoted decades to uncovering the layers of history. One of the most impressive discoveries at Perperikon is the sacred hall with an altar, which we told you about. In 2024, however, the Area Sacra was discovered, a sacred area including 6 pagan temples from the 3rd–4th centuries and a Christian basilica from the late 5th century that shed new light on the transition from paganism to Christianity in the region. This area shows the unique coexistence of the two religions, demonstrating the cultural and spiritual complexity of this period. Another significant discovery made in the same year was the complex of excavated dwellings known as the City of the Hobbits. These small structures were built in the 13th–14th centuries. The Roman pottery found give us more clarity about the lifestyle of the medieval inhabitants of Perperikon. So far, 10 houses have been uncovered, which are apparently part of an entire quarter, and it is possible that the complex contains about 100 houses. They are all small, one-room houses, no more than 161 to 215 square feet, dug into the ground with narrow streets cut between them. They were used both for travel and for rainwater drainage. Few of the homes found have hearths, leading Professor Ovcharov to suggest that they did not need heating or used metal or ceramic vessels to keep warm. It seems the ancient city has yet to reveal its secrets, as archaeologists have reached very few of its treasures. Over time, researchers have also unearthed numerous coins dating from different eras, from the Roman period to the Ottoman Empire. These finds prove that Perperikon was not only a spiritual but also an economic center. The tools and weapons found, as well as the richly decorated pottery, show that its inhabitants were skilled craftsmen. In recent years, scholars have speculated that Perperikon's underground network of tunnels was much larger than previously thought. Research continues to uncover new aspects of the complex's history, but despite progress, many questions remain unanswered. Were there really oracles of Dionysus here? Was there a mysterious priest who foretold fortunes? Where are the mythical treasures of the Thracian kings? Each archaeological season brings new discoveries that bring scientists closer to uncovering the full story of Perperikon. If you want to deepen your knowledge of the ancient structures on the territory of Bulgaria, watch our video about Tatul and the Magura and civilizations on Bulgarian lands before the flood, which you see on the left of your screens.